Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Doing good one. I'm anxious before the big game for my team on Sunday. You know this feeling all too well, my friend.
Oh, yeah, I don't know it at all. So, way to rub it in, asshole. Um, Philadelphia Eagles are in the NFC Championship. This is what
How many have I lived through? That's a good
you've
question.
lived through a lot.
The first one I remember was the one before we went to the Super Bowl with T.O., and that was 3. So let's say that one, the NFC with him, the
Do you
'08 one with
legitly
Arizona.
remember it though?
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah. I remember the one we lost in overtime to Tampa Bay. That was like the first time I remember. And I
Because you were
remember
what,
beating
8 when that happened? 9,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think I was 8 or 9, yeah. I remember the one with, because T.O. was my favorite player when he went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
So then I remember them beating Atlanta. I remember Brian Dawkins smacking the F at Algie Crumpler. The next one would be '08 against the Cardinals where Kevin Curtis got held on the final drive. Remember that one, so that would be 3. Then the Nick Foles one
Mm-hmm.
with the Vikings,
Yeah.
and then the one against the Niners. That's
Right.
5.
5.
Yeah.
Guess how many I have?
Yeah. 0.
1, but that I don't even remember because I was too young.
So 0.
0, basically.
Okay. I
All right.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, I bet you love it. Anyway, look,
I do.
you know what else we love around here? We love you guys subscribing to the channel, man. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. Welcome to Conference Championship Preview. Okay. This is the second week in a row that we're doing this. We're excited, bro. We got 2 games. That's it. Only Sunday, no Saturday football this time. We got the Eagles and the Commanders, the NFC
Mhm.
East nemesis. And we got Bills and Chiefs. Can't get any better than that. All right. It's going to be an exciting weekend. Me and Max are going to go down everything that we need to go down as far as legacy, who's going to win, X factors, all that jazz. All right. Where do you want to start first, Max? Do you want to start Bills and Chiefs or your team and the Commandees?
I think we should start with the Eagles and Commanders. Arguably, the Eagles have the worst quarterback out of the 4 team. I mean, I think it's a safe bet. The biggest question mark at quarterback with Jalen Hurts. One, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the biggest concerns for the Eagles, or how do you want to do it? Like, what's the Eagles' recipe? The Commanders' recipe? These teams are 1-1. The first game, the Eagles won on Thursday night. Second game, Eagles were out big. Jalen Hurts gets hurt with the concussion. Washington storms back. About an even matchup as you can get for that second game. So, where do you want to start? How do we start this?
Well, if you're looking at it from a regular season standpoint, the Eagles should be feeling pretty good. The Thursday night football game, it came down to nearly the end, but not really. You guys really outplayed them. Terry McLaurin didn't have a good game. And then, of course, the Commanders beating you guys the second time. But as we know, no Jalen Hurts got hurt in the first quarter, concussed. So that's a big factor. I think the Eagles, it's sounding like you guys are taking the right approach. I heard Vic Fangio today say, you know, he's a young player by birth certificate, not on the tape, though. And it's absolutely right. Jaden Daniels, you can't go into this game, Max, trying to break the kid, break the rookie, because I don't think it's going to happen. I think all year he's been taking care of the ball. And I think that's objective number 1, Max, is get a turnover on Jaden Daniels. Whether that's him throwing a pick, whether that's him fumbling the ball, I think that's one of the number 1 recipes on beating the Commanders. You got to make Jaden Daniels turn over that ball. You have to.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. And one thing I think that will serve the Eagles well, and this didn't really help Detroit. Detroit had never seen him up close and personal, right? Maybe they weren't ready for how fast he is when he gets to the ball in his hand, how swiftly he can, pull the ball from Brian Robinson and go around the edge. The Eagles have seen it twice. And especially that last game, that's where all the stops were pulled because Washington was desperate, right? They needed to win that game to have a chance to maybe win the division or especially make the playoffs. So it's like you said, you can't go into this game and be like, oh, he's a rookie. We are just going to send some pressure. He's going to get flustered. That hasn't happened all year. Now, of course, you want to get pressure on him, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But to just treat him like a rookie, this guy's he plays like a veteran. We've talked about it all year. The way he's able to stay composed in big moments. And Detroit, even when they were able to get pressure, he was able to escape, elude it, find the little crossing route. And hey, he was one thing that I loved about him, his performance against Detroit. He saw a little 5-yard, like, shallow cross. Hey, we'll take it. We will take it. We will stay ahead of the chains. And that's going to be a really key, is keeping them behind the chains, not in 4th and 1, 3rd and short. Because 3rd and short, it's really tough to stop a team like with that running a game and his ability to process stuff.
Yeah, you definitely can get the run game going. And I like how you brought up the 4th and 2, 4th and 3 aspect, because
they'll go for it.
Yeah, you got to look at it like looking yourself in the mirror, because that's how the Eagles play. The Eagles play the exact same way. Anywhere 4th and 3 and lower, you guys are going to go for it. It's the tush push most of the time. So it's very important to be wary of what you're going to call on defense on 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 2. Those plays are big. You need to have negative plays. You need to sell out on those plays, because they're going to go for it regardless. Cliff Kingsbury has shown the confidence in his team to do it, and they're going to do it every time.
And Dan Quinn is cool with the decisions. He's ready playing balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And I will say this. Neither team is the first seed. The Eagles, I don't think they've been talked about as a true Super Bowl contender. Or have they? Would you say they have been? Because I feel like Detroit has really been the talk of the NFC the whole year.
Yes.
It's really been Detroit or nobody.
Right.
And the Eagles have kind of snuck in. And, they had the 2 bad weeks with Jalen Hurts where he wasn't there. They win the games, but it's kind of like quiet, right? It's a quiet. They lose to Washington. They lose some momentum. There's MVP rumblings for Jalen Hurts. They lose, and then it kind of all vanishes. So I feel like neither team has a lot of pressure. Obviously, Philly's the favorite, right? You have that pressure. But it's not like a Detroit Lions versus Commanders where Detroit has everything to lose.
Yeah.
Like this might be the first time Washington feels some pressure, because it's like, hey, winner of this game goes to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is a big game. That's an aspect to look at.
I think another thing to look at too that I noticed with the Eagles is most of the time you're gonna get a chance. I don't think it's one of those situations where, like, you would think like Saquon Barkley, right? Amazing year. He's fucking fantastic. But there'll be times where he's ran for 200 yards, 150 plus yards, and they're barely winning these games. Like, it's not over. You're always in it with Philly. They somehow keep you at an arm's distance, but it's doable. And I think that's what happened the last time with the Commanders, as far as the Eagles, like, all right, get away. We'll get you off slowly but surely. And Janie Daniels like, no, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. Game-winning drive. Just like that. And that can't happen this game.
Let me ask you a question. I agree. Yeah, I agree. If we're up 5 with 2 minutes to go, I'm just gonna think we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose this game. They're gonna go down and score like the Falcons did in week 3 or week 2, like the Rams almost did twice last week. But here's my question for you, Juan. If I was gonna highlight a matchup between the coordinators, this game's all to me about Fangio versus Cliff. I don't care about Kellen Moore versus Dan Quinn. I don't care about that matchup. It's about slowing down Washington, because I don't think Philly's got this super exotic offense where, oh, look, guys are running open. 3rd down, we're going to do a slant or an in cut with AJ Brown or a comeback with Devontae Smith. It's not fancy, right? It's kind of like it's hard to stop what they do because the bind we put you in where, hey, if you want to leave Mike Sainristil or Marshawn Lattimore one-on-one versus AJ Brown, Eagles will be like, oh, okay, now we'll throw it.
Be my guess.
Okay, so now we're going to come out in our nickel defense. Oh, we'll run it with this big, powerful O-line. And to me, Vic Fangio has to pitch a good game. And I will say this. He's pitched a good game. There's been plenty of times against the Commanders this year where, hey, it's 3rd and 15, and we got Jaden Daniels dead to rights, but we missed a tackle. Now, we don't have Kobe Dean, which is a big loss in a game like this, especially with someone you have to corral, like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So that's going to be key to me. What are your thoughts about Vic Fangio versus Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, definitely that's going to be a matchup to look for. In the last couple of matchups, Terry McLaurin has been a non-factor, but that just means that guys like
Well, he came
Zacchaeus,
alive. He came alive in the week 15 one or week 14 one. He came alive. He got Quinyon
a,
Mitchell,
a,
who
a little
has a
bit,
stinger in his neck.
a little bit,
So
but Zacchaeus was the guy. Zacchaeus was the one that was going off, and that's what the Eagles are probably going to be fucking going for. It's like it's one of those things, Max, where me and you've done this all the time. Like when we used to coach basketball, it's like, all right, we're not gonna let this guy beat us. Let's let that motherfucker beat us. And then there comes in the situation in the game where it's like, all right, we're gonna make Zacchaeus fucking beat us, and he winds up beating us. And I feel like that's
correct.
what happened last time in this game because he was killing it. It was that second receiver. So whether it's De'Ami Brown,
That's
Zacchaeus,
De'Ami
Zach
Brown now.
Ertz, whatever guy it is, that I don't think that can happen, bro.
And Brian Robinson fumbled like twice last time. He had like one of his worst games as a pro, I think, when we played him the second time, and they still were able to withstand it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this on Washington's side. Their left guard, Andrew Wiley, who's played great. He's done for the playoffs.
Right.
If there's one position I don't want to be weak against the Eagles against, it's interior guard.
Yeah, Jalen Carter's licking his chops.
Can destroy a game.
Yeah.
He basically shut down the Rams to end the game on last Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on with whatever fandom you are, if you're just an interested party in the game. If Jalen Carter can have his best game of the season, because I don't think Washington's going to really run the ball on us. I'm not really worried about the run game, right?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
worried
hard
about RPOs and just shallow crossers. And that's one thing about Vic Fangio. He basically created like, hey, we're going to pass them off. And I have more faith in our defensive personnel than Detroit's, just because injuries and whatnot.
Yeah. It was a sad sight to see last week where the Commanders just ran the ball all over the lines. I don't see that happening with the Eagles. You guys' front is too good. It's too big, too talented. I can't see them replicating that again. You know, the best case scenario for the Commanders, like I said, keep within arm distance. Don't get caught up in the Saquon Barkley shit, the big play from AJ Brown. These motherfuckers ain't gonna score 30 plus points. You will stay in it. Keep with the task at hand. And if you have a chance to win the game at the end, you have a shot, bro. Like, just keep it within arm distance. And
it should be a cloudy day, and they think there's a 10% chance of precipitation. I hope it's not snow. I don't want a snow game. I don't want the weather to play a big factor in this game.
Now, looking at it from the other side of the ball, I know you're not that worried about it, but I think there's a higher percentage here, Max, that Jalen Hurts has a bad game more than Jaden Daniels. That's crazy.
I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. And when I say I'm not worried as much, I just think this is the matchup the Eagles have to win. Like, Dan Quinn and the defense can kind of shut down the Eagles. But if we just get annihilated, right, well, there's no chance. We can't keep pace, right?
Right.
And what it's going to come down to is the Eagles' blitz pickup. The only time the Rams' defense had success is when they sent pressure and the Eagles couldn't pick it up. Mekhi Becton, as good as he played in the run game, was not great at figuring out blitzers, or just, if they had the delay, he'd look the other way and the blitzer would come right behind him and sack Jalen Hurts. That was a safety, essentially. So that's my big worry. And Dan Quinn can get creative. Now, one thing you have to consider, Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn on the Cowboys last couple of years, they know each other well.
Yeah.
They know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very interesting matchup to this game.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens. As far as the head coach matchup, Nick Sirianni versus Dan Quinn, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Dan Quinn. I know Dan Quinn gets a lot of flack, Max, with the whole Super Bowl deal with Kyle Shanahan, and, they blew it against the Patriots. But Dan Quinn has won some pretty big fucking games now. And this is his second deep playoff run that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
And with the lesser squad that he had with that Atlanta team. And Nick Sirianni, on the other hand, I mean, whether or not you want to say what you want to say about the Eagles, like give them all the credit, the facts are Like Brock Purdy didn't play in that NFC Championship, so it was kind of a gimme the last time that they were here. So if you want to say like he hasn't really had a signature playoff win, is that fair to say?
No, I wouldn't say so.
What's
I
his
think the
what's his
last two.
signature playoff game?
I mean, I would say it's that NFC Championship game, but let's not act like Brock Purdy didn't start the game healthy. Let's not act like the Eagles went in there and took care of business. We've seen plenty of times where a backup quarterback comes into the game and you're able to win, right?
Okay,
I
throwing out
understand.
that game then, Max. If you
Then
can't
throw
use
out
that
that
game,
game.
it's hard. I
Throwing
think
out
it's
that. I
hard to
mean,
point one out.
the Super Bowl. It's not like we lost the Super Bowl by 100 points. You know what I'm saying? That was a great performance. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what his signature moment is. I mean, this is his only third playoff run or fourth year with the Eagles, so it's his fourth playoff run. We didn't win a playoff game twice, so I guess it would have to be the Rams, a snow game. That'd be a signature one so far.
Right.
But I mean, we talk too critically of a coach who all he does is win.
Yeah. 14
and I
wins.
understand he's on X's and O's, and I understand he can be a little swirly, and there's a weird relationship between him and the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But whether you like it or not, or you don't want to admit it or you don't, the Eagles have come out ready to play twice in two big playoff games.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we can do it a third time and hopefully a fourth time.
Yeah. So we know that the Commanders are playing with house money. Obviously, nothing's going to happen whether they win or lose, whatever. It's good regardless. What's the worst case scenario for the Eagles in this game?
We look flat. We get just annihilated, embarrassed on our home field. That's it.
And what's the next
Jalen
step?
Hurts plays. It could be a firing of the coach. It could be another season of questions for AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, those guys. Because I don't think the defense is going anywhere. Like, I think even if we fire Nick Sirianni, I think we'd bring Vic Fangio back. Now, I don't want to fire Nick Sirianni, but these are the questions. It would raise a lot of questions, but let's not act like this is the Eagles' last chance, right? We're a young team. We have a lot of young building blocks. There's plenty of window for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand, we always talk about the window can close fast.
Yeah.
But we've seen it all too much. You know, last year was supposed to be the Eagles' year to come back, and it wasn't. And they reload this year. And I like the way our organization is run.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the end of the world to loss in this game. Now, it depends how it looks, obviously, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And it's surprising, man, because usually you go through the playoffs and you always have that talk of the number one offense, or with Seattle, the number one defense. I feel like we rarely bring up that the Eagles were the number one defense in the league. I don't think it gets talked about. They've
flown under the radar, in my opinion.
Very under the radar. Very under the radar. So, with all that said, do you want to pick the game, or you have anything else to say?
I would like to know who you think would be an X factor on each side of the ball for each team. And I mean, I'm going with the Eagles. I can't not pick them. So
I'm gonna go with De'Ami Brown. I think he's an X factor. He was an X factor last week. Another guy is Austin Eckler. Would be like my secondary pick. I think Austin Eckler is a very, very big contributor on that offense.
Mine was gonna be the ball security of Washington's running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Because we both know, we've seen them both have some fumbling issues. Brian Robinson and Eckler.
Yes. Yeah. What about on the Eagles side?
I think Nolan Smith's an X factor, and his ability to maybe spy at times, and maybe just get after him, and maybe get a penalty, like a quick sack, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
On the offense, it's Jalen Hurts. He's the X factor. You know, his play's been so all over the place. And last week, let's both agree, those conditions weren't awesome to throw the ball in. Right. We can agree.
Yes.
We don't talk about the pass he threw to AJ Brown for 50 yards. That was a drop in the bucket that he should have caught.
Yeah.
So it's really Jalen Hurts, or if it's not Jalen Hurts, it's the O-line's ability to pick up blitzes and identify and not, put Jalen Hurts in a position where he could turn over the ball. Because if it's an unmarked blitz, that's when I'm like, oh, God, he's going to fumble.
Yeah. I think a big part of this game, too, would be the defensive line for the Commanders. I think they're a huge X factor. Last week, everyone was just like, who the fuck is Clelin Ferrell? Who, Deron Payne? Like their line is getting pressure. Who are these guys? And I think they have that capability of, being a unit, being a really good unit, and not having that alpha guy, like they're still really good. And if they can somehow get some pressure on Jalen Hurts, they'll absolutely be a fucking
And
X factor.
and here's one more thing I would look at. I don't think this game's going to come down to the Eagles' ability to run the ball.
No.
They're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
Yeah.
If the Commanders somehow let Saquon Barkley rush for 250 yards, they deserve to lose this game.
But it wouldn't be surprising if he does and they win. It wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It's because it's a stupid team.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the Eagles have to kind of go into this one. If I'm an Eagles fan, if I'm an Eagles coordinator, I'd be like, they're really expecting us to come out and tote that ball, right? Yeah. They want us to run. We almost have to zig right now, and we have to be able to pass the ball early to set up the run for late.
Yeah. Kind of like what the Ravens did to the Steelers a couple weeks ago.
If this was New England in its heyday, and they had this rushing, they would come out and air the ball out the first.
They're zigging when you're zagging.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like, dude, we just had this whole game plan about stopping 26.
Right.
And now he hasn't touched the ball once. It's just quick pass. But the Eagles don't. I don't know if they can do that, and I would think they can't because we've seen it all year.
Yeah. I don't know. Kellen Moore is kind of weird to me. I
don't think he's not the Ben Johnson that people think he is.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Look, Philly has some dogs. I think that's what saves them at the end of the day. They have talent. You can call whatever play, and most of the time it's going to fucking work because you have those talented guys. I'm going to go with the Eagles. It's hard for me to go with the Commanders. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be.
I hope it's a close. I hope it's not, but for the sake of, ratings. Yeah.
Right.
I think it will be.
I got it being like 28-24, like super close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
I would think 21-17. I think it might not be the offensive shootout that Detroit was.
No.
I mean, because if you go back, Detroit was moving the ball. They had tons of yards everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs was running all over the place, but the Eagles don't have the passing attack that the Lions have.
Right.
Or had.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Anything else on the Commanders and the Eagles, Max?
No. I'm ready to talk about, obviously, the game of the week.
Obviously the Super Bowl.
There's only two, but
the real Super Bowl.
Most marquee guys. Yeah. This could be the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. We got Bills and Chiefs, man. We got Josh Allen with Buffalo, and we got Patrick Mahomes with Kansas City. This is what, part 4? I think this is the third or fourth time that they met in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, let's just call it, this is like the one for the big marble, so it's like part 2, really.
Yeah.
I know the other ones matter, but this one really matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the last time they were in the AFC Championship game, it was like the 13 seconds, right?
For the championship, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to start with this, Max? There's so many angles we can take. Everyone's going for the Bills. I'm telling you that right now. Everyone.
Yeah, I'm going for the Bills.
Yeah, I think that's
the only reason I don't want to go for the Bills is then because if the Eagles get there, I don't want to beat Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. I want to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. But everyone's going to talk about Allen and Mahomes. I don't think it's. Obviously those guys are going to play at a high level, right? We're assuming that they're going to do what they do. So, I guess the question is, can Kansas City's defense make more plays or Buffalo's defense make more plays? Because that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be which team can get the timely stop. And it's kind of like you said about the Eagles. The Chiefs have the talent. It's kind of hard for me to think. It's just hard for me, man, to think Buffalo defense can make some of the splash plays we see the Chiefs defense make on a regular basis, it seems like.
Yeah. I think one of the big factors of this one is the Bills being able to run the ball. I said it last week, if they're able to run the ball, they have a really good chance of winning any game.
I would agree.
And I think the Chiefs are going to have to pick a poison. Because if they feel confident that, you know what, run the ball, fuck it. If we lose by your running backs, So fucking be it. Let Josh Allen be a game manager if you want to win that way. But if they lean the other way and say, we're going to stop the run, Josh Allen make plays with Amari Cooper and Matt Collins and Khalil Shakir, we'll take our fucking matchups. We'll trust Trent McDuffie. It could be a recipe for disaster for the Chiefs. If I'm a Chiefs fan, that's what I'm worried about. Because honestly, I don't want it in Josh Allen's hands. I don't.
No,
I don't want to go through that.
I agree.
Because you don't have what it takes on offense to keep up with that.
See, yeah, no, I would agree with you, Juan, and I would argue if I'm Buffalo, you got to play man coverage. You can't just sit in zone and let them systematically come up with plays to gash you, right? You have to make DeAndre Hopkins beat you. You have to make Xavier Worthy beat you. The only guy you're really worried about is Travis Kelce, right? You're worried about him.
Yeah.
To like I said, Juan, if Hollywood Brown beats you, so be it, bro. He ain't done nothing all year. But I'm not going to let the Chiefs run the ball on me effectively. I'm not going to let Patrick Mahomes scamper for a first down and 3rd and 15. Yeah. You can't have those plays happen to you.
Yeah.
If you want to line up your best corner, Tyron Johnson in the slot versus whoever the hell's there, and he beats him, you're going to have to live with that because you just can't sit in zone and let them have concepts to beat you. You know what I mean? You have to make them beat you mano-y-mano. Well, that's what it takes for the Bills. If I'm a Bills fan, that's what I think.
No, I think they've shown last week the capability of that. They played more man than I've seen them play in years.
Yeah,
they're a zone. They're a zone-based team, and they played a lot of man last week. They felt confident.
And the Ravens don't have the big weapons like other teams, and the Chiefs are definitely not in the weapons category.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar. I think it comes down to, like we say, with any good quarterback, you're going to have to get pressure. Like those guys are going to have to come up big. When you get your hands on Patrick Mahomes, you better make sure you get your fucking hands on him. Bring him down to the ground.
Don't touch his helmet. Don't touch his helmet.
That too. Yeah. That too. They're playing against that factor. But
and honestly, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, you know what? If he slows down before he gets out of bounds, let's take the 15 yards and light him up.
I'll do it in the first quarter.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Remember how Dan Campbell told the refs, like, hey, if he's in bounds, we're going to hit him.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Like, you got to make him fucking scared for his life in a sense. So you're going to end his career. Mm-hmm. You have to put that fear in him. I'm not saying go out there and try to hurt him. I'm saying you make him think you're playing with such an edge, he's got to protect himself, and he's going to be so scared to get out the pocket. You have to put that fear in him.
I think it's just hard, man. I don't think that boy's scared.
It's hard, yeah.
He ain't scared for shit, bro.
I know he's not scared, but I'm saying you got to just make it known. We're not going to treat you like the prince.
Yeah. We'll see how the game's getting called. I think we're going to see within the first quarter what kind of game it's going to be called off bat. I think we're going to tell pretty early. If I'm Kansas City and we lose this game, we get blown out, what's your thought process?
Thought process is it's been a long 4-year stretch, deep playoff runs for 5 straight years. We know our offense needs to be retooled. We had some injuries. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world at all.
No.
I mean, you can't win it every year.
Right.
They're 3 for 4. They're 3 for 5, or they're 3 and 5 in the last. They've been to 4 Super Bowls under Mahomes, or 3 and 1. Like, come on, it's okay.
I just hope, Max, that we fill it out the gates with the Buffalo Bills, like that desperateness, like that edge, bro.
Yeah, there might be, if you're a Chiefs fan, you might be thinking, we want to put the ball in Josh Allen. Like, you want to make Josh Allen single-handedly beat you, if that makes sense. Like, you want to make him play the game of his life to beat you in a sense, and hopefully make him make a mistake along the way. Yeah. Now, this year, it's different than in years past, where I don't even think he'll make a mistake. Yeah. I don't mean to jinx him, but that's the way he's played all year.
He's been comfortable with what they do. He's been comfortable taking the back seat and being like, we're running the ball today.
I just don't, like, if you're the Chiefs, you somehow have to make him carry the ball 15 times for 50 yards, lead them in rushing. Like that's the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
If Josh Allen leads the Chiefs in rushing, leads the Bills, I'm worried for the Bills.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
I mean,
You
it's
can't
just
have him.
it's tough, bro, because like Josh
Because
Allen.
if he has to lead them in rushing, you're thinking James Cook's not doing much.
No, yeah.
Or their running backs aren't doing much.
Right.
No, if he breaks the 80-yard run, that's different. But if it's scramble this time, scramble, 3rd and 2, we got to pull power out of our ass because we're so lost out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think Spag's going to come up with some plays to get him at least once or twice
Mm-hmm.
on some big downs, get him off the field.
Yeah. And what you have to look forward to is one of your receivers just making one play. Like Amari.
I think it's Shakir. Shakir's the person I worry about the most. Maybe Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman will be a good one. Because this game came down to the end. The last time they played in the regular season, it came down to 4th down. You know, it was a close game. So I don't think it's going to be like how we've seen in the past where it's back and forth. The Chiefs don't want that. Andy Reid will not allow it. He's going to coach this game.
It's not a 38-35 game.
It's not. Because if they do, it's over. I think they get blown out of the water. I think Kansas City gets blown out of the water a lot like that this year, but they won't allow it to happen. It's not in their DNA. They're smarter than that. I just hope the Bills come out with an edge. Like, this is the 4th time already that you're playing this fucking team. You keep on getting your fucking shit kicked in every time. Fucking kicking the nuts every time you guys play. It's time to dethrone the fucking bully, bro. It's time to beat down the fucking bully. And they need to fucking play with something else than just like, we want to win this game, like desperateness from the coaching staff, from the quarterback to the defense, everybody. That's what it's going to take.
They have to almost win at all 3 phases to me.
Yes.
It has to be a play on special teams, has to be a play on defense, has to be some offense. It's a total team effort to beat this team.
Yes. And it's going to take all 60 minutes and maybe even 70, depending on fucking how if they go into overtime. So, look, I'm excited. If Patrick Mahomes wins this game, I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. And if Josh Allen wins this game, I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. The winner of this game is going to win it all. I don't see the Eagles better than any of these teams. I don't see the Commanders better than any of these teams. These are the 2 best teams in the fucking league right now. These are the 2 best quarterbacks that are left standing. And I think we're going to see some really, really good football.
Hungry dog runs faster, so keep not believing in my team. That's what I like.
I can't wait until it's the Bills and the Eagles, so you can just root against Josh Allen.
I would hate that.
I'll take Josh Allen. I'll take him.
I would hate that, but like if there's one person who could warm my heart, because it would be such a vindication for me. Because like the vindication goes back to pre-draft when you were a hater too. You were.
I was.
You were a hater.
I was.
You were a hater.
His
completion percentage isn't high enough to be
Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball. He's a bum. Oh my god.
He is, but we still win.
Oh yeah, shut the fuck up. You should have.
He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball in a playoff game. We still win. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. You're a Jalen Hurts hater too, dog. Day one. Look, I just want to say it now. If Patrick Mahomes can get to another Super Bowl and win it, is he going to be just better than Brady? You think people are going to hold on to that narrative?
It's already fucking better. What's the matter? He's a better football player. It's fact. It's factual. It's facts. Please.
You said it. I didn't say it.
I did.
I didn't say it.
I'm sorry. I missed all those times where Tom Brady was capable of outrunning a defense and making plays like that. This guy's every bit as talented as a passer, if not more, and he's an athletic person, unlike Tom Brady. So, yeah, I'm going out there on the limb saying Patrick Mahomes is already better as a football player. Yeah. Doesn't have a better legacy, not yet.
Yeah,
it'll be hard for any football player
to reach those accolades.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, those accolades are going to be tough.
Correct.
He's doing a damn good job of trying to fucking get there, though. I tell you that much.
He's on a pace.
He's on fucking pace, bro. All right, let's go to X factors. On the Bill side, defense or offense, Max, who's your X factor?
Keon Coleman. I'm gonna pick him. It was him or Shakir. Defense for them. I got to see Greg Rousseau. I got to see right now or Ed Oliver. If Will Anderson's wearing out Joe Thuney, Greg Rousseau has to be, or Von Miller. Some combination of that D line has to win a matchup.
Von Miller, pull back that clock, baby. Rewind that clock, baby, for us. I need to see Denver Von out there. Somehow, bro. Our boy looked slow on that fumble recovery last week. I tell you that much.
He did.
X factor on the offense for the Bills. I'm gonna go with the running backs. I'm a little bit bigger fan of Ray Davis, but I wouldn't be surprised if James Cook is one of those guys where he makes a big play. You know, he has a lot of splash run plays.
I don't know why you don't think he's good at football. You do not like James
I'm not
Cook
saying he's not good at. I'm just more of a Ray Davis guy. That's it.
You act like he had a bad year.
I like Ray. He had an amazing year. Fool had like 50 touchdowns. But my boy Ray.
What about the Chiefs? Who are you thinking?
On the Chiefs side, oh man, I kind of want to lean towards Hollywood Brown, but I'm kind of scared of that. So I'm gonna go.
I think Worthy could make a play. That would be
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they like to go to Worthy more than Hollywood Brown, obviously.
This is the one thing Worthy has, and I know I'm going to be a hater of the Bills. Worthy's speed, nobody has that on Buffalo's defense.
No.
Nobody.
No.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, at least if this was the Eagles, you'd be like, and Quinton Mitchell can fucking fly. He's really fast.
Yeah.
But there ain't nobody like that. Now, obviously, can it take advantage of that in the situation? We're not sure. But Worthy scares me.
Yeah.
He can make a play. And on defense, it's probably like Drew Tranquil or like they do such a good job with their linebackers and the way. Like, remember when they had like Leo Chenault?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they get these guys, they plug them in, they play so well for them. It was Willie Gay and Nick Bolton now. Like, when they had Willie Gay, he was tremendous for them. Now Nick Bolton.
Yeah.
They play so well.
Well, there's another guy in Karlaftis. He's a fucking dog too, man. He really does show some moments where he looks like the best defensive player on that team.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm going with Karlaftis on the defensive end. I can't wait to see it. There's gonna be a lot of talk. I feel so bad for Josh Allen because you think Lamar is getting it this week, which we both.
Oh, yeah.
You think Lamar is getting it this week. Josh Allen. Just wait for Josh Allen to get it. If he loses this game.
He outplayed Mahomes in every facet, essentially. Out statistically, play on the field, lost the game. He's not clutch. He didn't get the job done, even though he did everything right.
Yeah.
Because of a stupid fucking coin toss.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping the best for Josh Allen just because to push that narrative of this guy's not clutch quarterback or Mahomes owns him. Like I'm pulling for Josh Allen. Who do I think is gonna win? Oh man,
I think the Chiefs will. I mean, I want to just say the Chiefs will win, so I don't jinx the Bills. But there's just it's kind of inevitable with them, right? You feel like the Patriots, like they're gonna win. They're always gonna win.
Like there's a crazy stat with Mahomes. They're the underdogs right now. They're technically dogs. And Mahomes, I think, has only lost like one time as an underdog in his career. I got to go with the Chiefs. If I'm being a money man, you know, if I'm going with logic, not heart, I think the Chiefs are going to win it. I think it's going to be close, and I think it'll be low scoring. It'll be something like 24-21, 21-17, some bullshit like that. This will not be a shootout. I will be absolutely shocked if it goes over 28 points from either team.
Yeah, I think 28 points gets you the win in this game.
Yes.
Either team.
Yeah. So, there you go. All right. There goes the preview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Max, anything else on this weekend's games?
Fly, Eagles, fly. We got this, guys. We got it.
Go Jaden Daniels, best rookie quarterback ever.
You're a fucking hater.
I'm hoping for the Commandies. I'm rooting for the Commandies and the Bills, baby. Let's go. Super Bowl. Here we come.
I'm going to Disneyland if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. It's the worst one ever.
When did you become a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, Big Red.
Fuck Big Red. He left the Eagles, all right? He hates the Eagles. He hates Philly cheesesteaks. He turned in his cheesesteaks for cheeseburgers.
No, he doesn't. That some bitch love anything.
Traded that
oily.
shit in for real barbecue. That's what he did. Fucking Big Red. Anyway, that's going to do it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video. Comment down below. Who do you guys think is going to win this weekend? All right? Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Who do you guys think are X factors? All that good stuff. Till next time, we out. Peace.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both clean. Not on my team. This organic.